She's like, oh, Jenny, you cared about property damage? Poof! No more table. Welcome to Inchworm,
the podcast in which we are inching through worm. I'm Jenny.
And I'm Ted.
And we read an amazing conversation this week.
Arc 3, Chapter 11, 3.11, as some say. And yeah, how are you feeling about your decision to inch through the story, Jenny?
Well, just before we started recording, Ted said to me, you might be the only person since the chapter after this was posted to ever have stopped at the end of this chapter.
I think it's true. I stand by that statement. Yes.
Yes, we ended on an even more intriguing cliffhanger than the previous one, I would have to say, after an extensive conversation with Glory Girl and Panacea.
What?
I did not spot that girl with brown hair and freckles could be Panacea. That did not cross my mind.
Yeah.
I did predict, maybe some kind of independent something or other, but...
Yeah, there was really no way to get you there other than say, have we seen anyone else with brown hair and freckles? Which probably may not have even registered.
I don't remember her freckles. I just remember Glory Girl saying that she was kind of mousy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
brown hair isn't very distinctive.
I love it just as much when you don't call the twist as when you do call them.
I did predict a while back that they were going to face Glory Girl in this bank job.
Yeah. It's so tricksy to have Interlude 2 introduce us to these two characters and then have them come in a shocking way at the end of Arc 3.
Yeah, really well done.
It's very, very satisfying.
And it's fun because, at this point, I know the world is really big. I know the story is really big. So it's not necessarily true that, just because we see an interlude with new wave characters, we're going to see them that arc.
Right.
It's not going to be that predictable, but we did.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you want to tell us exactly what happened in this chapter?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll start by saying I just want to read the sentence that describes the stakes of this chapter, which is just an excellent thing. So when Taylor realizes who she's facing off against, Glory Girl and Panacea, they were among the most famous of the local heroes, arguably among the most powerful of the Kid Capes.
Arguably.
They were pissed at me, and I was stuck in a room with them, and my powers weren't working.
Mm-hmm. Ah! Good encapsulation, those lines, yeah.
But I'll take us through in a little more detail. Look, I took notes on, every single paragraph. I just want to react to every single paragraph in this chapter.
We will, yeah.
I do just want to say at the top, before I get into it, I love this scene. This is a standout scene in Worm for me. It's not done, so I don't want to, get into it too much. But, to me, this is one of the moments. There are a lot of moments that we've read so far that can hook people, but I feel like the end of Arc 3, the resolution of the bank job, the four-way face-off here is so fun and so compelling.
Is it going to be resolved? What's going to happen?
Well, the arc's going to end.
I'm compelled.
So, yeah, what happened? When we last left Taylor, this teen had hit her in the head with something, and Taylor saw stars. And, well, we started the chapter realizing Taylor has a helmet on. I'd forgotten that she had a helmet, so, I'm feeling a little less worried about her.
The armor of her mask, yeah.
Yeah. But then Taylor and her assailant have a face-off. Taylor realizes, as she starts paying attention to the inside of the bank, that her bugs are telling her the hostages haven't moved, when in fact, they are all running away and escaping the lobby. She tries to use her bugs again, and her headache gets exponentially worse again. It's like migraine level or worse. So Taylor is basically like, I got nothing. My power is totally messed up. I don't understand what's going on. And she, rightly accuses this girl, what did you do? But no explanation is forthcoming. But Taylor's not out of tricks, even though she doesn't have her power. She uses her 18-inch extendable baton to go after the girl, knock a phone out of her hand, and destroy it. Sadly, not before the girl is able to send a text message, which is just enough to inform her sister, Glory Girl, up on the roof, that it's time for her to make her entrance.
Oh, so Glory Girl was on the roof the whole time. I didn't actually pick up on that.
Oh, sorry if that wasn't stated.
No, I mean, that makes sense. The Glory Girl was just waiting on the roof for Amy to be done in the bank.
Yeah, so to me, I knew it was her the whole time. It might not be stated directly in the chapter. We do get a little bit...
That makes sense.
Where they talk about the reason that they're at the bank, which is, it turns out, a total coincidence.
Right, and Glory Girl wouldn't have interfered in the fight because she would get in trouble for interfering with the wards.
Right.
So she was just like, well, I guess I'll hang out up here. Although you'd think she'd have wanted to rescue Amy sooner. Maybe she wasn't paying attention?
Well, the way, again, I don't remember if this is explained or this is just me reading between the lines. I get the sense that Glory Girl was waiting for Panacea's signal. Which was that text message. Mm-hmm. Why she was waiting, whether she was happy to wait or annoyed to be listening. I'm not sure we know.
Interesting.
Something
okay,
maybe we
we'll
can
find
speculate
out
about
more.
further.
Who knows? Yeah.
So apologies for the light spoiler. It was Glory Girl on the roof. There's no other...
No, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I just hadn't put that together.
Yeah. Victoria makes her entrance. It's another big one. Taylor feels the full brunt of her aura in a bad way.
Yeah.
And then Taylor sort of realizes how bad the situation is. And instead of falling to her knees, giving up, confessing, throwing herself at the mercy of New Wave, she pulls out her other tool, her knife, and then wrestles Amy into a headlock, knife at her throat. Taylor gets lucky here because Amy scrabbles around her costume trying to touch her skin, which would allow her to use her power on Taylor. Mm-hmm. Isn't able to do it. Taylor gets the upper hand, and this
really well-constructed costume.
This creates a standoff with Taylor credibly threatening Amy, Victoria unwilling to get closer while Amy could potentially be hurt. And in this stalemate, Glory Girl makes a bunch of arguments, like, oh, give up and I'll make sure they go easy on you. Oh, the Protectorate's on their way and they're going to be mad. The longer we stall, I bet New Wave will hear about this and they'll show up. And she's trying to basically coerce Taylor into giving up. And Taylor's pretty stubborn. We learn a little bit that, as I mentioned before, it was a coincidence that they were here. Mm-hmm. Victoria set Amy up on a double date, and Amy didn't want this rich guy she's going on a date with to pay, so she's going to the bank to get money. And this means that they couldn't go to the mall like Victoria wanted. I mean, I love everything about that. Maybe we'll come back to it later, but yeah, total coincidence that they're here. But as they're talking about this, Tattletale makes her entrance. And Tattletale is very, very relaxed throughout this whole scene. Taylor explains that her powers are being messed up. Tattletale says that she's figured it out and tries to approach Taylor and Panacea. But Glory Girl's like, don't move, don't come closer, stay where you are. So Tattletale starts monologuing. She... lampshades it a little bit, that this is a thing that villains do. She claims to be psychic, a totally outlandish claim that gets Glory Girl being like, no, that's not possible. But what she's doing in this monologuing is, because the way this sort of scene is blocked is like, maybe they're in like a triangle type formation, but Tattletale's a little bit behind Taylor and Amy. So she dramatically goes to get the manager's keys to make a point like, I read the manager's mind with my psychic powers. But what she's actually doing is getting a laser pointer so that she can signal to Taylor where the spiders are on Amy's body. Because somehow Amy's power let her, alter the information the spiders were sending in order to mess with Taylor. So Taylor is able to one by one find the 3 spiders on Panacea, kill them, thus restoring her power, apparently. And so she does all of this, again, with a laser pointer from behind so that Victoria can't see what she's doing, manages to keep the distraction going, and Taylor does have her headache cured, thanks to Tattletale's quick thinking here. And we end the chapter by basically saying, okay, I get it. You're Tattletale. You know secrets and information. But hey, New Wave's whole deal is we don't have secrets. Everybody's accountable. Like, everybody knows my real name. You know, you're so stupid. Tattletale's like, don't call me stupid. I don't like that. I really don't like that. Glory Girl continues, look, our powers trump your powers. Your powers cannot compete with our powers. And Tattletale replies, oh, honey, now who's being stupid? I've got the most powerful weapon of all. Tattletale purred, smiling wickedly. Information.
Dun, dun, dun.
Ooh.
Yeah, so this is really interesting. I wonder what information Tattletale's about to share with them. The only information I can think of that we have that Tattletale might be referencing is the fact that on like 6 different occasions, Glory Girl has hurt someone so badly that they would have died or, you know, been maimed in some way.
Yeah.
Had Panacea not cured them. And that is not really in line with their whole transparency,
total
accountability. Yeah.
I will say, we might have circled back to this anyway, but one of the last things that Glory Girl does is threaten, like, if you hurt my sister, I will kill you in as bad a way as I think I can get away with.
Yeah.
Like, she actually does just say that right before the end of the chapter.
And she probably would get away with it if they, kill Amy. So, I don't think that's the way it's going to go. It could. That could be, Tattletale could just say, like, I know what you've been doing and I have this blackmail information on you. I think it's more interesting if there's something to their mutual benefit.
Ooh.
Like, I think that Glory Girl and Panacea could be very helpful in getting them out of this situation if they are motivated to do so, and making them fear what Tattletale will do to them is not motivating in the same way, perhaps.
Yeah, very interesting.
Because, then she'd just be motivated to, kill Tattletale. Oops, what a terrible accident happened when my sister's life was threatened.
Yeah.
After what everyone, has done here. She could probably get away with that. It's a big enough crime scene. So I hope that it's going to be something a little more out of left field. Tattletale knows a lot that we don't know.
Yeah.
So could be something in that direction. I just looking at this last page, since that's where we ended the summary. Tattletale saying that she hates it when people call her stupid gives me a new theory on where her power came from. Because we had sort of said, like, oh, maybe she was lonely, just, like, spent a lot of time at the library. By we, I mean I. You obviously know already. And that's where her power came from, that she just, read a lot and had no friends, and so now she has knowledge.
Right.
It sounds like maybe it is more a reaction to being called stupid. Probably not rightly. She seems to be reasonably intelligent, even aside from her power. But, like, if she had an authority figure in her life or a, parent or guardian who was just, like, really demeaning in that way.
Yeah.
That could be something that would
rebound
in her power. Yeah. I was just continuing to move backwards. The point of New Wave. I like this. Like, I feel like I hadn't quite gotten clear on, like, okay, why New Wave? Why do they exist?
Right.
And it sounds like the philosophy is superheroes don't need to have secrets.
Yeah.
No secret identities, no secrets, full disclosure, total accountability. It doesn't sound like that's something they're doing a good job of living up to, based on Glory Girl's behavior and the fact that Panacea is helping her cover up for things like that. Which, they're teenagers in a family where this is the philosophy. They didn't independently opt into this. So it makes sense that they are maybe, they're not very internally motivated toward this philosophy.
And I will mention more detail about the nature of the family. Yeah. Earlier, when she talks about, hey, you're threatening a member of New Wave, there's a pretty good damn chance my mom, dad, aunt, uncle, and cousins will be showing up too. Brandish, Flashbang, Lady Photon, Manpower, Laser Dream, Shielder. How are you going to manage that? Yeah,
I noticed that. So it seems like it's at least their parents, aunt and uncle, cousins who are part of New Wave. It is this big family. I think we know that Brandish, their mom, like, adopted one or both of them.
We know that Panacea was adopted.
Okay. I wonder if the cousins were adopted also. Like, is this a...
Right, yeah, that was part of it. How do they recruit? Is it really like a superhero family like Superman and Supergirl are a family, or is it more constructed?
Right. Is it just like some sort of fluke that all of these people are related and have powers?
Yeah.
There could be an interesting cause behind that, or was it, people coming together and deciding to form a family based around these powers? But, Glory Girl and Panacea are so young, it's not like they aren't like founders of the philosophy of this movement.
Right.
But it is a cool, because like, when you think about secrecy on the part, it's obvious why supervillains would want their identities to be secret. Superheroes, there's kind of two pieces of it. The reason for secrecy is if the villains know who you are, they'll threaten your family. Yeah. And the other piece of it is if your identity is secret, you can get away with a lot. Yeah. And I think that, New Wave is right that that's not a good thing to have in heroes. Like, there should be accountability and transparency. You shouldn't be able to get away with stuff as a hero. And then, I guess in theory, the Protectorate is there to supervise heroes anyway, but maybe they think that system isn't working very well. You do get people like Shadowstalker who went a little too far and got pulled into the wards, that kind of thing. Right. But maybe they think it's not working. The other half of it, that thing where, like, if your identity isn't secret and you're fighting villains, then the villains are all going to want to take you out. And in fact, we see in this chapter, the fact that they're sisters means that Taylor is able to stand off against Glory Girl with just a knife held at Amy's throat. Right. That's a good point. It is, in fact, yeah. I do think that sort of in the grander scheme of things, the fact that they have this whole family of capes who all seem to be pretty powerful. Maybe they aren't all as powerful as Victoria and Amy, but this powerful a group, they can sort of watch each other's backs and, probably have a safe enough place to live that they don't have to, guard themselves all the time. But it is pretty dangerous being a threat to the villain community and having your identity be known. Yeah. Especially if you're Amy and not Victoria. No, right. That's true. Though I will say, Amy seems very happy to be Glory Girl's sister in this chapter. Which is a bit of a contrast from the interlude, where she was kind of resentful. She was like, oh, you're always dragging me into this. But, like, this is a very different situation. Yeah, yeah. Amy's description a few chapters ago, when she was just the girl reacting to Taylor threatening the hostages, I think was, like, glaring at me with pure loathing or something like that. And then at the beginning of this chapter, when Taylor and Amy are kind of, like, going head to head, I feel like Amy continues to be, like, very quippy in a way that I thought was, like, so funny, where Taylor's like, what did you do to me? And Amy's like, I don't think I'm going to tell you. Or you don't need to know that. Yeah. And then when her phone gets destroyed, she's like, oh man, I liked that phone. And then Taylor's like, who are you trying to call? And actually, it was a text, not a call, and it went through. Taylor doesn't have a phone, Amy. Like, she doesn't know about texting. She's never texted or been texted. Oh. And now she's going to be killed by Glory Girl, and she'll never have texted. I know. But then there's, the reveal when Glory Girl comes in. Glory Girl tilts her head to look at Amy. Hey, sis, you okay? The girl, who could be none other than Amy Dallin, Panacea when she was in costume, offered Glory Girl a beaming smile. I am now. And she's just so smug. She's so pleased. She's so happy. She's so confident. Like, no matter how scary these villains are, Glory Girl's here. She has Alexandria Jr., as Taylor calls her, up on the roof, up her sleeve on the roof this whole time. And later, I think it's very telling, during the monologuing, Panacea clocks that her bug trick has been discovered, and she tries to call out to Victoria, and Taylor uses it basically as like, shh, and uses the knife to keep her from calling out. But she's not, she says Glory Girl. She's trying to call her sister's attention by saying Glory Girl, not Victoria. And I remember she had that thing in Interlude 2 where she was like, what, Victoria? Like, everyone knows your name anyway. And Glory Girl's like, don't call me Victoria in front of the Nazi. I don't think we even get the name Victoria here. In this chapter at all. Yeah.
So yeah, I thought it was really interesting that it feels like this is fully Amy and Victoria on the same team, doing their sisters versus villains thing and loving it, compared to Interlude 2, where their relationship was more fraught.
Yeah, the two of them are so formidable. Taylor says, arguably among the most powerful of the Kid Capes. Is it arguable? Like, who the heck is more powerful than these two? Even Aegis, Clockblocker, and Vista, I would say, are not. Like, you know, Clockblocker can freeze you, like, whatever. And, I mean, Vista can change landscapes. That does seem to be, like, a huge power. Aegis is indomitable. But Glory Girl is also, like, has all of Aegis's powers and more, it seems like. Yeah. And Panacea, like, good heavens. We already knew that she was a healer, and we suspected that she had the ability to mess with people's bodies as well. I guess we don't actually know that she has that. She does threaten Taylor with it a lot. Yeah. And her threats are real vicious. Like, Tattletale says, like, she's all bark and no bite, which might be true. Maybe she just wants... Yeah, I was going to ask you what you think of that. I think it is likely that she just wants Taylor to think that she would give her a heart attack or cancer, make all her food taste like bile. She basically states that she could do anything to Taylor's biology. Yeah. And we don't really have reason to think that's not true based on what she does do, which is affect Taylor's bug powers so intensely.
Yeah, and I'll read what Taylor's understanding of it is, and then we can talk about it.
Okay.
So this is, Taylor kills one of the spiders that had been on Panacea's body. Immediately, the pain in my head dropped to a fraction of what it had been. The relief was so intense, it was almost euphoric. I still didn't fully grasp what Panacea had done, but I was getting a good picture of it. She'd somehow sensed what I was doing to control the spider, then alter things so the spider wasn't sending me the right information. A continuous loop of the wrong information, like when thieves in the movies spliced a video camera feed to repeat the same segment over and over. Either by accident or design, it had exponentially increased the interference every time my power reached for the arachnids in question, all building up to a metaphorical short circuit of my power. I could barely fathom the subtleties and delicacy that would have been required to set that up.
Yeah, so this is just completely different. I mean, I guess it's in line with what we've seen before, but we had no idea her power reached this far. That she could figure out that, okay, this girl is controlling these spiders. I'm touching these spiders. I can use them to send incorrect information. Like, she can alter the spiders. I mean, she's altering the spiders' senses, really, and minds. Exactly. Like, she doesn't mess with humans' minds, but she is messing with, I mean, it makes sense that she doesn't have qualms about messing with spiders' minds.
And she does it with 3 bugs. So Taylor has a false sense of where every hostage is. So Amy's loading up the spiders with extra dummy information to fool Taylor's power.
Wild.
It's so, I mean, like Taylor says, it's so sophisticated. And it's, I mean, like, those spiders are tripping, right? Like, whatever it is to be a spider, those spiders are having a really weird time.
Panacea seems to have an almost unlimited amount of control over people's bodies. She does need to touch them, and it does seem to just be living things' bodies. But what she can do with them seems to be unbounded, almost.
Yeah.
Really extensive and flexible. It's not just healing.
And that's part of Taylor's mistake. In the previous chapter, she thinks, I didn't think there's anyone in the Protectorate or New Wave who could even do something like this. Right. But she reflects here, I thought Panacea was a healer, but clearly she's more.
Oh, yeah.
It's another, like, the information warfare, right? People, why would you broadcast that Panacea does other stuff?
Information is key.
She seems to spend all of her time healing people. Right. But in this situation, she seems more than happy to at least threaten some pretty messed up stuff.
And the fact that she can do this to the spiders does make me think she can do this to Taylor. So one thing I do want to just briefly call out, we've talked a little bit about how there's some stuff in here that probably Wildbow wouldn't put in if you were writing it today, like relics of the times. And one of those moments, which is just pretty crappy, is one of the threats that Panacea makes to Taylor is that she'll make her fat. And it's a really bad way of talking about fat people, like using them as sort of a threat, as like this awful thing, like becoming like a fat person is one of the worst things that could happen to you, along the lines of like giving you cancer or making all your food taste disgusting for the rest of your life. Like, that just really sucks. So yeah, I didn't like that, but yeah, I wanted to mention that. I know that this is from almost 15 years ago and it's not necessarily reflective of anyone's views. Maybe it wasn't even then just reflective of the character's views, but
yeah,
I felt weird not mentioning it.
Yeah, I'll also mention Glory Girl uses the R slur. That's what Tattletale interprets as, you know, calling her stupid. Yeah. Which also jumped out as like something, it made me wince reading it, and is something that I wish wasn't in there and doesn't need to be in there. Yeah. There's a part of me that has the reaction of like, people talk like this or talked like this. And I think that the bar for sort of like using realism as a reason to include this kind of language would need to just be really, really high, and much higher than it is here.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. You did mention the fact that they're all teens is really fascinating to me. Like, so we've talked a little bit about how this is not YA. Yeah. Which is interesting to me because as I was reading this, I was like, wow, Glory Girl and Panacea are also teens. So we have Taylor and the Undersiders, all, I don't know if they're under 18, but like probably, this criminal gang. And we have the Wards who we faced, all under 18. We have the New Wave representatives that we've seen, also teens and incredibly powerful. The only adult we've seen with powers is Armsmaster. Yeah. This is like a kid's game here. Yeah. And these kids are very powerful. If they are representative of the adults, like if within this like 4 or 5 year age span, there are this many powerful people of all ages in this town, are there even any normal people running around? Like, this is so many really intensely powerful capes. Yeah. And it is an interesting choice to focus on these teenagers. I mean, Taylor is a teenager, so, you know, her interacting with other teens, sure, but that's a very YA convention. And you've made it very clear to me that this is not YA. We haven't really seen anything in this that I think would disqualify it as YA up to this point.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But it's interesting that given that this is specifically not meant to be YA, why are all our characters teenagers? Like, that's just a really interesting choice. Taylor could certainly be interacting with very powerful adults, like 20-somethings, 30-somethings, you know, it could have similar dynamics.
Yeah, that is really interesting. I don't know how to answer in an unspoiled way.
No, you don't necessarily have to answer.
But I will say that I think that being teens makes these characters, they're less practiced. Mm-hmm. They're less rehearsed. They're less
still exploring their
going
powers.
through the motions. They're exploring, right? Like, it makes this, you know, face-off feel so dynamic and feel like anything could happen. Yeah. In a way that presumably if it were Armsmaster and Miss Militia, they'd be just going through the playbook.
They're like, yeah, we know how to deal with you guys. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and maybe we will get scenes like that in the future, but I think that the fact that they're all teens,
they're all kind of malleable in a way,
makes it really special. And just they're more natural foils for Taylor.
That's true. So that leads me to something that I was just thinking about. I feel like Glory Girl is ripe for villainy.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, she clearly enjoys this sort of image of perfection, and she's very well protected socially against turning to the side of villains just because she has this whole, like, her entire family are heroes. Yeah. So she's unlikely to go rogue in that context. But certainly, given her personality and tendencies, she could easily be a villain. And I would be intrigued to see her go in that direction. That's kind of why I hope Tattletale is going to win her over. I mean, I think it's not going to be like, join our side. It's going to be more like, we have a shared interest.
Yeah. That's really fun.
Yeah, could lead her in that direction. I don't know about Amy.
Well, putting aside, like, bucketing the problematic stuff, is Amy okay? Threatening Taylor with cancer, with a heart attack, with, like, messing up her taste buds. Like, it's, like, really intense. She's, like, saying, like, haha, you know, like, don't worry about me, Glory Girl. And then she whispers to Taylor, like, I'll mess you up. You're so lucky I didn't touch your skin. I'm going to give you cancer as soon as I can.
seems like she's really angry at being helpless and is threatening. And like Tattletale says, she's all bark and no bite. I think that is probably true.
Okay.
Because she does seem to have this rigid rule against messing with people's heads. I suspect she also would not let herself give someone cancer. I mean, sort of like how Taylor was probably not going to let those Black Widows bite anyone.
But that's really interesting that you bring up, because I don't think any of Panacea's threats are about, like, wiping Taylor's memory or, like, doing something, right? Like, they are all limited. I don't think Amy was threatening anything that would break her rule.
No. I'm just saying, if she's the kind of person who has a rule against this because it could be dangerous to be, like, she doesn't seem like she's going to, wreak havoc in someone's body in this incredibly vicious way she's describing.
I actually think this makes her a really interesting foil for Taylor in this scene, because what Amy saw Taylor do is put a bunch of spiders on people and say, if you move, I'm going to kill you, basically. And we discussed, would Taylor follow through, or is she bluffing? Or, maybe she can kind of do a really advanced bluff where the spiders could bite, but there's no venom or something like that. Right. But
I think she's
here,
bluffing.
Amy's doing possibly, or you speculate, and Lisa speculates the same thing. I'm saying, like, I'm going to mess you up. I'm threatening you. But she's not going to follow through with it. And Taylor tells Tattletale, don't come close. If she touches you, she'll give you a stroke or something. Tattletale's like, she's all bark and no bite. And Taylor's like, no, please back off.
They're both taking each other's threats really seriously.
Exactly. They're both taking each other seriously, but we have reason to believe that they... I love that. Yeah, you pointed out the irony. They're both taking each other's threats really seriously, but we think they might be both making empty threats.
I think if they were able to have a private conversation where Taylor felt at liberty to say, like, here's my plan. This is what I'm trying to do. I'm risking my life to infiltrate this group and get this information so I can bring it to the Protectorate. And, she were able to convince Amy of that. I think Amy would be like, that's awesome. Like, I think she'd be really into it. She'd be like, ooh, this kid is cool. And then they would be best friends.
That is very funny.
Yeah.
I love this. I love that idea. I do want to say also, one of the other things that I love about this confrontation, it's not just that they're all teens. They're all teen girls.
That's true.
It is such, refreshing representation to have, we were sort of talking about the gender imbalance with the Ward fight, where it's like Vista's the only girl that shows up. But, this intense standoff is between 4 teen girls, and, I
didn't even realize that,
Yeah, but I just, and, to your sort of gender theory of powers also, it's
no, they're all doing direct, damage to each other.
Yeah, they're all doing direct damage to each other.
Direct threats, anyway.
But the close quarters physical combat. And then we do have the brute here, Glory Girl, with her invulnerability and super punches and stuff, right? It is so notable to me because I just feel like, when's the last time you saw a 4-way standoff between 14 girls that all have interesting superpowers? I haven't seen all the superhero media, but I feel like this is actually really great representation.
I agree. Also, Glory Girl, man, so she does this really dramatic entrance, and then after she's landed and
this is my favorite
shattered
line.
The window and
the marble floor,
shattered the marble floor hard enough to send fragments of marble tiles skittering over the floor. Almost casually, she backhanded the marble and oak table to her left that held all of the withdrawal and deposit slips. With that lazy swing of her arm, she annihilated the table, doing so much damage to it that nobody would ever be putting it together again. Glory Girl, you literally have a power that makes people terrified no matter what you do in your presence if they're your enemies. You don't need to destroy the bake's table.
She murders a table.
It's not even in her way.
No.
It's just next to her.
No, she just touches it a little and it explodes.
She's just oh, that table? Whack.
Funny. She's like, oh, Jenny, you cared about property damage? Poof. No more table.
That table probably cost a nice chunk of what they were trying to steal from this bank. Who's stealing property now? I'm not stealing it, but
I mean, I'm so glad you brought that. I was cackling. It's such a funny line. I do want to make a connection, though. A couple of things. These are sneering little, like, preppy, rich country club girls. Glory Girl is like, oh, the Protectorate's coming. They were at the Augustus Country Club, but they're going to have to leave early because of this. They're not going to have a chance to try the club's chocolate mousse.
And Amy's like, it is good.
They're just so insufferable.
But you know who's great to have pitted against people like that? Tattletale. Who's so just like smug and imperturbable.
Yeah. No, yeah. She
really
keeps...
perfect.
She doesn't break once. She's totally cool. She's totally in charge the entire
like Glory
scene.
Girl's like aura of like terror.
Yeah. No, that's true actually. Yeah. And I mean, she is so mean to Glory Girl, and I don't care at all.
No,
I love
Glory
her.
Girl sucks. I love that she first, greets her by saying, "Hey, Glory Hole." Excellent burn. Excellent mean nickname
Glory
for
Girl's
Glory
face
Girl.
twitched.
They've faced each other before. Maybe. Then calls her
Why
a
not?
prom queen, also
And then
insulting
Glory Girl
her.
can't help. Prom queen? Glory Girl said. Yeah, oh my god. And then, she calmly notes, oh shit, Amy Dallin? Man, Gru's gonna be mad about that one. Did you change your hair or something?
Actually, what she says is, you look different than you did when you were showing up in the news.
Yeah.
Which makes me wonder, was there a specific time, like when they launched New Wave, or was there a specific incident or series of incidents that really had them in the news a lot? I feel like that's a little bit like a reference that we don't really understand yet. So
Yeah, was that the only thing? Was there some... Did Taylor think about that too? About, like, hadn't been doing as much PR recently or something?
I missed that, if so.
Yeah, hopefully that's not a memory spoiler.
No, but I mean that does...
I feel like, there was something... It hasn't been fully explained, but something about how...
They haven't been in the news as much lately.
I have a pet theory, though, which is that... we should come back to Tattletale, but I think Amy did her hair for her date.
Oh.
I think that's what's going on.
I mean, they did call it frizzy earlier in the chapter, though, so, I mean...
Maybe she messed up her hair because she clearly doesn't want to go on this date. And
maybe Glory Girl attempted to do her hair for her for the date, and Amy wouldn't let her finish.
Again with... We should circle back to Tattletale. But again with how just annoying Glory Girl and Panacea are. Glory Girl says, I wanted to go to the mall for lunch, but no, you needed to go to the bank. And Amy's like, you're forcing me to go on this double date. And Glory Girl's like, I'm setting you up with a 16-year-old millionaire. I don't think it's unreasonable to expect him to foot the bill for dinner and a movie.
How do you know a 16-year-old millionaire? Does he actually have the money himself? Who has that?
I mean, they're the worst. In a really delightful way.
I will say it's also so 15 years ago that she had to go to the bank for money so she could pay on the date. Like, just nowhere to, like, you don't need cash anywhere anymore.
No, that's a great point.
But that's very much last 5 years that changed.
Yeah. Oh, man. I mean, we were talking about how mean she's being.
I love Tattletale's attitude, the whole, come on, villain 101, you don't give info to the hero in a gloating monologue. And then Glory Girl's like, okay, worth a try. She says, I'll tell you anyways. And then she pulls the psychic thing.
Yes. This is so impressive. Like, again, maybe she's faced off against Glory Girl before.
I actually don't think she necessarily has.
I think this is cold reading. Everything that Tattletale says is designed to keep Victoria interested in listening to the monologue. Starting with, villains don't do monologues, but I'm going to. And then, I'm psychic. Which, it would be great for people to believe that Tattletale is psychic, but what she's doing here is saying something she knows that Glory Girl will nitpick.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, nuh-uh, psychic's not possible.
Which, also a really interesting conversation.
Yeah.
We should get to that.
Some stealth world building. But yeah, the dynamic of the conversation is then she says, oh, the bank manager, a type A personality, loves to control the situation. Again, being like Gloria's like, where is she going with this? Is she trying to say something about me? Like, again, I'm projecting here, but I think this is all. And then she's like, oh, someone's taking Parahumans 101 at the university. Like, like good in school, like...
Your parents pull some strings, got you into a university course before you were done high school, which is probably something her power told her.
Yeah. And she talks about all these cool powers, breaking physics. Oh, I can't peek into your brain. And while she's executing this laser pointer maneuver, it is
so impressive.
It's so impressive that she's finding all of the bait that she can put on the hook to keep Glory Girl interested. She goes in, Victoria says, scholars say you're wrong. And then Tattletale gets morbid, says the only true psychic is the Simurg, one of the Endbringers.
Yeah.
And Tattletale says, telepathy scares the ever-loving crap out of people. Which is, I'm not sure that we've seen her be scary, but which is an assertion that she belongs, right? Like,
she's scary just like the other Undersiders.
Exactly.
She's going for their, signature vibe.
Exactly.
So it is really interesting. So Glory Girl says, the brain power you'd need to interpret and decode someone's unique neural patterns would need a head 5 times the usual size to contain it all. True psychic can't exist. Which is a terrible argument when, as Tattletale points out, powers break the laws of nature all the time. Legend can shoot lasers from his hands, lasers that turn corners. Wild. Clockblocker and Vista can mess with the fundamental forces of space and time. Kaiser can create metal from thin air. Which, so he's the head of Triple E? Is that... What a weird random power for him to have as the Nazi leader. Okay.
Sounds cool.
Yeah,
but he probably sucks. He definitely sucks.
And Tattletale knows stuff without any reason why she should know it. There's no reason she shouldn't, except maybe the
Manton effect.
Says that she can't know things that are inside people's heads, but not everyone's powers are affected by the Manton effect, so it's completely plausible to me that someone could be psychic. You don't have to remap someone's entire neural network in order to know what they're thinking.
Yeah, that is interesting. I know a lot more, so I won't speculate, but I do believe that Glory Girl is making an authentic argument from authority. For whatever reason, what you would learn in Parahumans 101.
Oh, yeah, this is what people think.
And maybe there are reasons, maybe they've done some experiments, maybe they're just observing that there aren't any known psychics except for this one Endbringer. And so, if that's true, there must be a reason for that. And so maybe this is the best explanation. Or I guess what I'm saying is I don't think that Victoria is stupid for citing what she read in a textbook or whatever.
Oh, no. I assume that is the received wisdom right now. Yeah. But I do think we're going to meet a psychic. I think we're going to meet the Simurg. I think the Endbringers are going to come into this story.
Yeah.
Because we've seen them now twice as this sort of boogeyman situation.
Yeah. The scariest things you can think of.
Yeah, and I'm really not sure what they're meant to be.
Yeah.
You had me predict a little bit. I don't think I did a good job coming up with something sufficiently terrifying.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I do love, though, this discussion of, how the powers work and whether they can be justified by, the laws of nature. And, clearly no.
And Wildbow found a bunch of places in this chapter to drop in little bits of exposition.
Oh, yeah.
That are just absolutely in service of what the characters are doing.
Oh, yeah, it's not clunky at all.
Yeah, it's so fun that we get some nuggets about New Wave, we get some nuggets about how powers work. It's great.
I was so mad every time Panacea insulted Taylor. Taylor's a good guy.
So is Glory Girl.
Glory Girl's the worst. Property damage. My nemesis. All right. So I think there's a part of me that feels like I should be able to predict what happens next. And of course that's not true because I don't know where this narrative is going. So I don't know what the next best step is going to be to get there. There's so much information I'm missing. I just kind of feel like, I've read so much, been paying so much attention, should be able to put it together. But of course I'm not going to be able to. And that's an unfair standard to hold myself to. But I'm going to try anyway. So various ways because I do think the Undersiders are going to get out of this.
Yeah.
I don't think they're all going to get apprehended. That would be kind of a weird direction for the story, though an interesting one.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's where it's going. I think they are all going to get out. I don't think they're going to need money, like I said. Maybe they'll grab one duffel or something. Yeah, I ways that occur to me that they could do that. Like we said, Glory Girl and Panacea could be threatened into helping them if Tattletale has information that she's blackmailing them with. They could be cajoled into helping them if Tattletale is able to make a convincing argument about something that's in their mutual interest. they could be distracted if she knows about something else dangerous, something else that's happening. Like, there's a reason that the boss wanted them to do a job right now, and it's probably not because the protectorate was at the country club.
Wow, so Tattletale might throw the boss under the bus to get out of this.
Oh, no, I don't think so. Maybe indirectly, but if there's something else going down that the boss wanted the heroes diverted from, I mean, it could be that it's already over,
right.
But she could use it to divert Glory Girl and Panacea if it was sufficiently alarming. I think the bar would be pretty high to get Glory Girl and Panacea to actively help them escape, because Glory Girl doesn't want to be seen attacking the wards. So probably the most they can hope for is Glory Girl and Panacea leaving them alone and letting them finish the fight with the wards before the Protectorate and or the rest of New Wave shows up, or Glory Girl creating enough of a distraction that they can get out. And I think that would be the best thing for Tattletale to go for. So, like, that would kind of make sense if she is able to get some direct lever on Glory Girl's behavior that isn't just, getting her distracted enough so that they can escape, then asking her to create a distraction, like, destroy the bank building or something. She'd love doing that.
Yeah.
Would be sufficient, if they can get the hostages out or whatever. Yeah, maybe the hostages will be in enough danger she can divert Glory Girl that way. I don't know. There are a lot of different possibilities. Yeah, I think asking Glory Girl for a distraction would be, like, if she can get that lever, I think that would be the move.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we will. Are there any new names after the many, many in this chapter?
There sure are.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
Good heavens. Are they going to actually show up?
Only 2.
Oh, okay.
Fleur.
Fleur. Like Fleur?
Yeah.
She has the power of that. I mean, I guess I don't know that's a girl. A guy would be unlikely to choose the name Fleur, which sounds like a woman's name. She has the power of that girl in Encanto who can create flowers and plants. Basically like a poison ivy type power.
Very cool. Light Star.
Light Star. Sounds like a brand of washing machine.
I hope it's not just that they mentioned a brand of washing machine. I mean, I do just kind of flip through the pages really quickly and look for proper nouns that sound like cave names. Yeah. That's how I almost missed legend last time, because it was at the beginning of a sentence.
It is just a word.
It's just a word.
Yeah. Light Star. Oh, it's Shadow Stalker already can sort of turn to mist, right? I was thinking that, Light Star could... I mean, I already predicted that, Lady Photon could travel at the speed of light. Light Star probably can't also travel at the speed of light, if that's even Lady Photon's power.
Maybe they're twins.
Maybe.
Maybe it's their secret... We didn't use the wards all go zip, and here are alternate personas.
Yeah, maybe they're twins, and they just, keep one-upping each other with, oh, you're Lady Photon? I'm Countess Lightstar.
Yes!
I think Lightstar is just a whiz at astronomy. They can just see what's happening in the far distant stars.
Yes.
Yeah, not a combat cape at all.
Yes. Extraplanetary clairvoyance.
Yes. But not planets. Stars.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, that's my prediction.
Well, we'll find out in the final chapter of the arc next time.
Oh, wow, there's only one left.
On Inchworm. Worm is a web serial by J.C. McCrae. You can read Worm at parahumans.wordpress.com and support the author at patreon.com/wildbow. Follow us on Tumblr and Blue Sky at Inchworm Podcast, or find our Discord link and any other updates on inchwormpodcast.com.